Sharad. I'm the owner and founder of REsimpli. I live in San Diego, California. I'm an active investor. I invest in Northwest Indiana. For anybody who's not familiar, this is 30 to 45 minutes outside of Chicago. I used to live in Chicago. That's why I picked that market. I've done over 800 deals. Right now, I do about 25 a year just because, REsimpli takes up a lot of my time. So we do 25 flips a year, and we buy all these properties from direct to seller, marketing, and I also own a property management company where the rental properties that I own, and also the turnkey properties that we sell to other investors are managed by the property management company. So REsimpli started as something I needed for myself. I used to live in Chicago. I moved to San Diego area back in 2015. So looked for something for a couple of years, didn't find anything. Then I thought, all right, I'll hire a couple of developers, have them create something for myself. And that's kind of how REsimpli started, and it is what it is now.
That's terrific. And so what I usually do is I would have realtors or wholesalers send me deals. And I just love doing that because I didn't have, I guess, either the desire or the time to really put towards doing everything that it takes to actually get these and take down these deals. Now, you created a software that's absolutely changing the way that people can get these properties and keep track of them and make sure that you're actually doing everything right to close all these properties. So yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into what you're here to show us, and how we can actively close more deals with REsimpli.
All right, so I put this together. I'm going to do it at a very high level, but Dustin, you or anyone on the call have any questions, just feel free to kind of, ask as I'm going along.
So everybody go ahead and throw it in the chat. So so as Sharad's going through it, I'll be able to monitor the chat and see if anybody has any questions there.
All right, so the way, I like to look at our business is, for any successful real estate investing company, they have like 4 pillars in their business. One would be data, then marketing, then sales and operations side. So I've kind of broken this, demo in 4 parts: data, marketing, sales, and operations. So I'll go, in that order. But if you guys have any questions or want me to go over anything specific, definitely let me know. So on the data side, we offer driving for dollars that it's included in every single plan. You can get driving for dollars, start using it. We have native iOS and Android app. You can start using it and, start getting leads that way, start building your data. Then we have list stacking. So, and for anybody who doesn't know list stacking, it's basically your data management tool that you have. If you're buying lists from all different sources, like, you're driving for dollars, your county, your prop stream, wherever you might be buying it from, list stacking basically manages everything for you, keeps everything neat and clean and organized. And then we have skip tracing built in. Skip tracing is where you can skip trace your records to find property owners information. So right here on the this section, you have your list stacking. So think of list stacking as you buy your records from, you get your records from county, you get from driving for dollars. What this will do is this will tell you, hey, this property address is in 5 different lists and in 20 tags. So what that does for you is tells you, so think of each list at different motivation point, tells you this property has all these motivation points. They're behind on taxes, expired MLS listing, lien, and absentee owner. So it tells you this owner is going to be more motivated than, let's say, someone who's only on 1 or 2 lists. So that's what list stacking does. It stacks these different lists for you. And once you've done that, you want to start marketing to them. You want to start getting their phone number and email. You can select these records right here, push them to skip tracing, and skip tracing, what it will do is it will process those records for you and find you phone numbers, matching phone numbers and email addresses for those owners. So you can start calling them from right here. So that's your data part of it. Driving for dollars, you're driving around, building your list, and you get lists from different sources. You stack them and REsimpli skip trace those records. So you have now their phone number and email. Next, we move on to the marketing side. You have dialer, website, and direct mail. So there's a couple of things you can do. You have these records. You can select these records and push them to a dialer and start calling those records from within REsimpli. So think of it as a single line cold calling dialer, which you can use for prospecting, saying, hey, Mr. Seller, this is Sharad. I noticed that you're interested in you have this property, would you be interested in selling? So you're using that as prospecting. So that's one part of, REsimpli that you can use for marketing. The other would be website. I'm just going to quickly show what my website looks like. It's built on REsimpli. So you get WordPress website right out of the gate. All you have to do is get your own URL. We provide the website, we provide the hosting and everything. It's included in every single plan. So if you're doing SEO, PPC, super beneficial for that, and also building your branding within your with your seller. So this is what it looks like out of the gate. You can totally customize it. It's a WordPress website. Again, it's included in every single plan, and you can like fully customize it. The third,
let me ask you a quick question here. So that WordPress website, is that something that is like we would log in through REsimpli to get to this page?
Correct. Yes. So you will log in through REsimpli right here. So you click right here on the website part, and then you would just, it's a WordPress website, so it'll take you to a separate, but it's all through within REsimpli. Let me see.
And so you basically have a website for your investing business that comes with everything here. So we have to get a whole nother site.
Correct. Yes.
That's great.
So this would be, I mean, it's not letting me log in right now. Let me see.
That's okay. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
WordPress is really simple.
Yeah, it's super simple. And then this is what it looks like out of the gate. So all you need is your own URL, whatever it might be. For mine is Max House Buyer. That's the only thing I need. I have that with GoDaddy. We'll walk you through all the steps on how to link your website. If you would rather us do it, just send us an email. We'll link it for you. We'll attach your website, and we'll do all of that for you if you would rather have that. And this is what it looks like out of the gate. I haven't done any customization, but you can do it. And then you can edit it however you want. So it's super simple. It takes like a couple of minutes to get that set up. So yeah, this is, and then anytime anybody goes to this website, fills out this form, that contact becomes a lead for you, which I'll go into a couple of minutes. And then the other way you can use REsimpli for marketing is you have these records on list tracking, you select them, those records, and then you can order direct mail right from within REsimpli also. Let me select a couple of these. So I'm going to select just a couple of these. So I'm going to go ahead and do these and then order direct mail. Okay. Just demo. And then you can order postcards, text postcards, yellow letters, business letters, and we also have integration with ballpoint marketing. So you can do letters that look like, that written with pen. So that's what, this is what it would look like. It's actually written with an actual pen. And then if you want to send out postcards, we have a bunch of different templates right here. You can click on any one of them and kind of see what it would look like. If you have a custom template that you want to use that you really like, you can just upload it right here and then order your direct mail right from within the system. So you don't have to leave the platform. So once you have your data on the marketing side, you can use the dialer, the website, or direct mail to start generating leads within for your real estate business.
That's cool. So quick question. So is there a way that we would put in like per house a dollar amount of what we would just be our general offer? I've seen where I'd get in the mail where I said, hey, we'll give you an offer for this price. And it's a, let's say fairly decent price. Do you guys have custom scripts or custom ways to do that?
Yeah, we are. If you have that number of how much you would want to offer, we can do that, but we're actually going to be adding that template within the system. So once you have it in list stacking, you can just choose, what percentage of the ARV that we've calculated that you would like to use. So you don't even have to come up with it. But if you have that number already, you can send us that list and we'll make sure that we get that added in it. So if you have that number available.
That's great.
Okay. Yeah. So all right, so that's the marketing side of it, using dialer, website, and direct mail. And now the next thing would be, let's say you start doing this marketing, you're calling or sending direct mail, you have these leads coming in. This is what it would look like in the leads pipeline. So this would be your CRM part of REsimpli, where you have your new leads coming in. These are people that have called and expressed some interest in selling their property. They would be dropped into the leads part of REsimpli. You can call them, text them, email them from within the system. This is what it would look like: phone number, And then you can just click right here and then just call from within the platform. If you want to do that, you can click and then send them a text message. And then if you have their email address, you can email them. It's a two-way texting, so they can text you back, call you back, or email you back. So you can manage all of that within the system. And then this is what the lead detail page would look like. All your questions, the script that you have, you can put it right here. It would be saved all right here. All the communication that you've had with the lead, any notes internally, call recording, everything is saved within the system. You don't need any third-party integration. You're buying your phone number all within the system, calling, texting, doing everything within system. You don't have to have any other subscription for your business.
That's great. So a couple questions. Number one, Rebecca asked a question: are there any limitations to sending SMS, text messages? And the other side of that I'm curious about, is there a way to send like 10 or 100 texts, like literally select them all, send the same similar text out to every single one rather than each individually one?
Yeah, so with texting, now it's just the environment that we live in. There's more regulations around texting. So before you can text from the platform, you have to get A2P 10DLC approved. That's a requirement by the carriers. They will not let you text to any of their customer unless you're A2P 10DLC approved. It's not from us, it's from carrier. It applies to every single business, not just real estate business, any business that you can imagine. If you're receiving a text message that's not from a cell phone, that means they've gone through A2P 10DLC registration. That's required. It's a pretty quick process. You need to have your EIN number. It's required. And then we provide the website. The website is A2P 10DLC approved. If you look at this is part of A2P 10DLC requirement. So you need to have that. But once you have that, it takes about a week, less than a week to get approved if you have everything ready. And then you can start texting. But you want to make sure, just because you approve, you don't want to start sending spam messages. It's a more regulated environment. So you want to be mindful of the messages that you're sending out. And then to Dustin, to answer your question about bulk texting, we have bulk texting that you can do to your buyers, but not to the sellers. However, with sellers, what you can do is you can put the leads on a drip campaign, automated follow-up sequence, and then the REsimpli will automatically text them. So you won't have to come in and text them. Most of the leads that you get in your business are going to be, hey, I'm interested, but not right now. Make me an offer in 6 months. Those are the ones that you really want to stay on top of. And then you can do that through the drip campaign that we have. So the way drip campaign works is it's basically a follow-up sequence that you're preparing for, depending on different situations. There's no limit to how many drip sequences you can prepare. So this is what it would look like. You're telling the system, hey, 2 hours after you set up this drip, send this message. You can have these variable fields that will be filled out based on the lead information. And then 3 days after this step is complete, send out a direct mail. And wait for 4 days, send this ringless voicemail out, wait another 4 weeks, and set up a task to call the lead. And then you can do, send this email out after, like, for example, 4 days. So you can set this up. You can have unlimited steps in it. It can go on forever if you want. I have personally bought properties from automated follow-up sequence that where leads were on automated follow-up sequence for 3 years, 4 years. We have users that have 4 years, they've had the lead on a follow-up sequence and they've closed on those properties. So I would say the most powerful, most highly valued feature in REsimpli would be the drip sequence. So what you would, and then you can automate this also. As soon as the lead comes in, they go on a drip sequence. But this is what you would want to make sure. Majority of the leads that you have in your pipeline, you would want to make sure they're on a drip campaign.
I love it. Now, I love the drip campaign. The sequence is so helpful to help people to realize, like, you're not doing the work. You're not sending out each text. You're not sending out each letter. Like, it's anybody, a lead comes in and then it goes through this. Do you have a pre-set up template? Like, yeah. Okay. So creating 3 years worth of drip campaign is going to take a long time. If you could already have that plug and play, that would be amazing.
Yeah. So we have like 7 or 8 out of the gate based on like most common situations that are already available. You don't have to do anything. You just go into any lead and then just click on like activate drip campaign, and then it'll just take care of that. So all you have to do this, and then you'll see when you sign up, you'll see like 7 or 8 that are already set up. and then you just select it. And then, there's a couple of other options that you have. Everything looks good. Go ahead, set automated follow-up sequence, and it'll just start taking care of that. Again, majority of our leads are in automated follow-up sequence where the system is automatically taking care of texting and reminding us when to call the lead, sending emails, doing all of that. So we're actively working on like a handful of leads at any given time. Majority of them are, in sort of like in the background where the REsimpli is managing the follow-ups with them. Yeah. Yeah. So you'll communicate, majority of the leads will be an automated follow-up sequence. You're calling them, texting them, emailing, and as like task and appointments, you can link up your Google Calendar. So any appointments that you set in REsimpli shows up on your Google Calendar. You can set up tasks. It's a very like task-driven system to make sure that everybody has clear accountability on what they need to work on. And we also have file system built in. So think of it like Google Drive or Dropbox. I don't use Google Drive or Dropbox in my business. Everything we do, pictures, videos, everything gets stored right here. It works just like Google Drive or Dropbox. You can create shareable link, send it to anybody outside of the business, and you can give permission to where they only have access to view files that you have, view and add new files, view, add, and delete files. So you can choose and share that link to anyone. So for me, for my house flipping business, all the pictures, videos, contracts, everything gets saved within the system. So everything needs to be here. We're not going to any Google Drive, Dropbox, or anything. And then we have e-sign built in. Think of it like DocuSign. You don't need a subscription. It's built in within the system. You just pay for the documents that you use. I think it's like 90 to 95 cents per document. There's no additional subscription for it. You just upload your template right here. You upload your template right here. You can upload up to 10 templates. And then depending on what you're doing, just send the contract out. Once the buyer or the seller, whoever you're sending it to, sign it, it gets automatically saved in the lead, and then you can just download it. What we do in our business is once the seller signs the contract and we execute it, it automatically sends that email out to a title company, and then just they automatically receive the email. So we don't even have to get involved. We have one less step to take in forwarding that email to that. So you can automate a lot of those things. But yeah, this is what, if you've ever used any DocuSign or any of these e-sign features, you will know kind of it's like simple drag and drop where you want them to sign initial, who's signing party one, party two. Super simple to use. If you have any questions, there are a bunch of training videos on these on how to use that. So yeah, this would be and then depending on what you're doing, if you get a property under contract, you can manage it as a wholesale pipeline. You can manage your fix and flip properties, or if it's a rental property, you can manage all of that within REsimpli. Again, just want to be clear, it's not a property management software, but you can do basic accounting, basic, depending on how big your portfolio is. If you have a few properties, you can easily manage that within REsimpli. You can call your tenants, text your tenants from within the system if you would like to do that. Okay. So that's your high level on the sales side of the business. And then the next part, in my opinion, the most important part is the operation side of it. That's where like you really start adding efficiency, start scaling your business. And that's what for that we have like KPIs built in. Here, let me go to the home dashboard first. So this home dashboard right here, when you log in, this is the first page that you see. This right here makes sure that there's absolutely nothing in your business that's ever falling through the crack. Tells you all the tasks that are due, all the new leads that came in, any open messages that you have, any internal communication that you're doing with your team, any contingencies on your buy side or sell side, any leads that are abandoned, manages everything right here. And then your KPIs, you can set up your goal of how many deals you want to do, how much revenue you want to generate, how much net income, and then you can keep track of everything. It goes very in-depth into different marketing that you're doing, how much money you're spending on each marketing, how much revenue you're generating from each marketing. So you can go really in-depth into tracking all of that. And then depending on if you're selling any properties, we also offer, just like we offer a seller website, we also offer a buyer website. So buyer website would be where you can list your properties that you have for sale. And it's fully integrated with our backend system. So anybody that goes there, clicks on submit an offer, that offer will automatically be added to that specific property. So you don't have to manage anything. You don't have to download, upload any documents. Person that's making an offer can attach documents, do a whole bunch of different stuff. You can even host open houses right here. So if you're doing open house and you want to tell someone, hey, this is December 5th, 10 a.m., they can put their information and, just come in, that they'll get an email about the open house. Upload pictures for each property that you have just to list your property. So really, really cool feature. This is included in every single one seller website, one buyer website is included in every single plan. So you don't have to pay anything additional for it. It's already included in every single plan. And then we also have a bookkeeping feature built in, like in my business and a lot of other companies that we have using REsimpli. They don't use QuickBooks. They can just go ahead, link up their bank account. I used to be an accountant before I started investing full time. So that's why, the bookkeeping, the accounting part was really important. And then you can link up your bank account, download all your transaction, and literally do all your bookkeeping within the system. So that kind of ties everything that we have, all the leads that you're coming in, all the deals that you're doing, how much money you're making, it gets tied up based on the banking feature that we have. Cool. All right, so that's a very high level overview. Dustin, what questions do you have? Anything you want me to go over in more in depth?
So the direct mail, now I'm assuming that the direct mail that we're going to be sending out, the cost of that is not included. So how does that work out price wise?
So price wise, let me pull it up. Please. Okay, so this is our pricing for direct mail. If you're doing postcards more than 1,000, it's 50 cents. But 0 to 200, 1 to 200, really, it's 70 cents. This is our price for, yellow business letter. This is depending on what postage you're using and the timeline for delivery and, all the other information. But yeah, this is the pricing for your postcards and your letters right here.
That's in like one order. Let's say we ordered 500. We'll fit in that middle category at one
Correct.
time. Okay.
Yes. Yep. So you pay like 55 cents per postcard if you did 500.
So if we're doing the drip, the sequence, and it gets to a part where you send them a postcard, we'll be at the individual. It's just like one off.
Yeah, the drip. Yeah, that's a great question. For drip, it's $1 per postcard because we use the integration that we use. It's a different process that we have to follow for that. So it's $1 per postcard for drip. But if you're doing bulk, this is what the pricing is.
Got it. What other items inside of here that would be additional price? Because I know the websites are included, which is fantastic. I can't, like, text messages. That's sounds like it's included.
Yes. So depending on the plan that you're on, just a heads up. I'm not trying to sell anyone. The pricing for this plan is going up tomorrow. The monthly, it'll go up from $99 to $129. I'm just giving a heads up. Our marketing team decided to update the pricing to $129, so it's going up tomorrow. But this is what's included in every plan. Like your one user, 2 phone numbers, 500 minutes, and SMS included. How many records and list stacking, trip campaign is included in every plan. SEO optimized website, buyer website, that's all included. But the add-ons would be, if you wanted to add the cold calling dialer, if you wanted to do that, that's an add-on. If you wanted to do that. And there's some other advanced feature if you wanted, for example, like e-sign is an add-on, or if you wanted a bigger plan for list stacking, or in-app answering, like some of those things would be an add-on that you have. But honestly, like even the basic plan includes a lot of things for someone just to get started. And then as you're scaling your business, like that's when you can look at, okay, does the next plan make sense for me, or if I want to have any specific add-ons.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're using this right, it's gonna be paying for itself because it's getting you
Exactly.
Yeah, getting you deals. Can you go through a use case? Walk us through, like, once, let's say one property is a lead, like how do we start with using REsimpli? Because you walked us through what it does, but walk us through as we're going to use it and all the steps.
Yeah. So once you have, let's say if this property becomes a lead, right? This person, let me go back. Let's look at this one. Let's say this person calls in, they're interested in selling their property. the
Hold on,
first
before you
thing.
get there, so all that, like the address, all that sort of stuff, do we input that?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So you input that. I mean, some of that can be automated. Like, for example, let's say if you have records added in list stacking, right? So you have record added in list stacking and you have a phone number attached with the property. Let's say that someone calls you back and we find that phone number in list stacking, will show you that, hey, this number matches with a record that you have in list stacking. Would you like to add that as a contact? So you can add that. But yeah, like for the most part, if you don't have those phone numbers in list stacking, then you're adding that address. So your first, line of business would be when you're talking to a seller is to get the property address, right? If somebody calls in, then you're putting their property address, and then this is what it would look like. So you're talking to the seller, you ask for the name, you would already have their phone number based on the number, their caller ID. So you would have their phone number, you would tell you what campaign it came from. So you're asking for their name, you're asking for their property address. Based on the property address, we would autofill a lot of this information. But if that information is, if you have any updates, you can just write, hey, I know this is a 2-bedroom, 3-bath, for example, you can update that. And then you have all these questions built in at the bottom. This is the script that you have for your own business. These are the questions that you're asking. You can customize this based on your own business need. And then you're going through these, hey, do you have a property to sell? Number of units, how long have you owned the property? So this is just conversational script that you built out, and you're just asking the seller all these questions, and the seller is giving you information. Based on that, you're kind of making a decision what needs to happen. So let's say you have this information, and next thing would be, let's say you made first contact, right? And then now you're telling the seller, hey, Mr. Seller, give me a couple of days, let me do some due diligence, and I'll come back to you. You do your due diligence, and next would be, all right, we want to set up an appointment, go look at the property. You go look at the property, everything looks good. Then you move it to due diligence. You're doing due diligence based on the numbers that you have. And these 4 columns can be customized. These new leads, offer made, and under contract are fixed, but these 4 can be customized based on your business need. So you're doing your due diligence. All right, you're ready to make an offer. When you make an offer, when you're ready to make an offer, you move it to offer made stage. So you're making an offer on the property, you move it to offer made stage. Let's say I offer 250,000, and this is a written offer, and I make an offer, let's say today. I do this, and then at that point, you're basically waiting for the seller to get back to you on the offer. Let's say they accept the offer, you move it to under contract. Say the under contract is you offer 250, but let's say they came back with 255, but you accept it. Your scheduled closing is 27, and you're gonna, let's say, keep it as a rental, no contingencies. And then you move it to your under contract, and then over in under contract, you're working with your escrow company to get that property over to closing at that point.
So this makes a lot of sense. And no, so if you have just one property, you can see how, okay, I can move those around. But when you're literally dealing with hundreds, if not 200,
Yep.
300 properties, I like give you an example. When I'm talking to this many, I don't remember, because there's so many different houses and sellers. I don't remember the conversations I have, but if I update this, I usually have another, I
Absolutely.
basically just an Excel sheet, which is not good at all, but you just write down what you talked about, because you have that, you can look back and see, what did I talk about? So you can remember, even if you just remember something small about maybe their daughter is going to college somewhere,
Oh my God, that is so important. It's those small little conversation pieces that you have that's gonna help you like really seal the deal with the seller or anybody. It's like a relational business. If like you mentioned, if the seller says, hey, my daughter is going to college, just like remembering that and sending them a like small little, hey, good luck to your daughter for college. I mean, imagine what a difference that's gonna make next time when you talk to the seller. Like those are the things, you put that as note, and it's recording all the calls, right? So you don't even have to remember anything. You just go back, listen to the call before you call them back, and you're picking up the conversation exactly where you left off.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Right.
So this is going to help you figure out where things are, all your conversations, and everything's saved here. Now, but on top of that, everything from the sequences. Walk us through the sequence. Let's say somebody went into first contact made. Is that when a sequence starts? Is that like, how does the sequences come into play here?
The sequences, So think of sequence as like based on the situation that you have with the seller. You know, some of the sequences would be you make an offer, but the seller never responds back. So you'll have a sequence for that. Most of your sequences will be the new lead comes in, they call you from your direct mail, but now you call them back, text them back, they're not available. So that would be the most commonly used sequence that you have is you put them on an automated follow-up sequence just to
How do you
basically
start
get
that?
them back. Yeah. You start that just by going into any lead. Let me do this. Let me pick this. All right. So let's say I go into this lead and then I go into action and click on activate trip. Now you'll
Oh,
choose the
cool.
situation that is going on with it. In some cases, you'll have their name. Some cases, you'll have their phone number. Some cases, I mean, you'll have their phone number. In some cases, you'll have their name and you'll have the property address also. So you want to set up a drip campaign where you have, based on the information that you have, if you have their name, if you have their property address, then it's a more, personalized conversation that you're having rather than saying, hey, you called us about a property. What's the property address? If you have their name available, if you have their property address, it would be, hey, Dustin, yeah, I spoke with you about 2603 Fox Avenue. Are you still interested in that property? We would love to buy that. We buy properties in Fort Bend, Indiana. So you can set up all of this in a drip campaign, and you want to set it up based on different situations that you have in your business. Once you've done that, then the next thing would be you just set it up. Another way would be when you go into these campaigns, which is basically where you're buying your phone number. So you're buying your phone number. Once you have bought your phone number, what you can do is, let's say if you're doing Google PPC, you can automate the drip sequence and you can tell the system as soon as the lead is created, let's say from, website, I want this drip to be automatically set up. So as soon as the lead comes in from the website, the system would automatically assign this drip campaign to the lead. So lead comes in, it's in the middle of the night through your website, and the system is automatically going to start texting them, emailing them based on the information that you have, and it'll remind you to call them, and then you just follow the steps. But the majority of the follow-up will be done through REsimpli.
Man, that's fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
this is great, Sharad. A lot of great information. I'll definitely put this on my website as well as with my students inside the community so that they'd be able to use it. Did you say that you had like any bonuses or anything that you can give to anybody here that is watching that they can it will help them in their campaigns and
Absolutely.
using this?
Yeah, so if they sign up through the link that you have the first month, they'll get 75% off. So depending on whatever plan they sign up, they'll get
Wait, did you say
75%.
75% off?
75% off the
Wow,
first month. Okay.
that's
And
great.
then again, keeping in mind, this pricing is going up tomorrow. The monthly one, it's going up from 99 to 129. So just giving a heads up, if someone wants to sign up today at this price, they can do that. And they'll lock in that price. But yeah, if anybody signs up through the link that, Dustin, we have for you,
I
they'll
just put it in
get
the chat.
75. Yeah, they'll get 75% off the first month.
Man, that's fantastic. That's a good deal. And at the same time, I mean, once you're utilizing this and you're actually closing deals, flipping properties, wholesaling deals, it's really going to be paying for itself. And you
Oh,
realize,
absolutely.
yeah, when you have something like this, a CRM, basically something that just helps you to keep everything in track, you're going to find it's going to be so much easier. When I was doing it just with Excel sheets, it's so ridiculously, stupidly hard. And I was confused all the time. So this is going to be tremendous for everybody to be able to use.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's like you don't realize until you start spending money on the systems that how much money actually extra money that you make. Like I was doing the same way. I was using Excel, Google Sheets. It was like I was jumping over dollars to pick up dimes, like it was just so inefficient way. And then I was like costing myself money in all the lost revenue that I had, not staying on top of like not automating a lot of the follow-ups.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks a lot, Sharad. So I will
Sure.
definitely put this for all the community to be able to watch this again, and I'll put it on my website as well so people can just
Sure.
be able to find it. But I appreciate your time and everybody being on, and this is really cool. I really look forward to people really
Cool.
getting more deals with this.
Awesome. Thank you, Dustin. Thanks,
Thanks,
man.
Sharad.
Bye-bye.
Bye.